everybody, my name is George. I'm from the Wycombe Wanderers fan account at the Wycombe Way on Twitter. I hope you're all well. I hope you're all keeping positive and healthy in what's a challenging time for all of us. I'm here today to answer a few quick questions prior to Monday night's FA Cup game between Wycombe Wanderers and Tottenham Hotspur at Adams Park. My opinions of Wycombe's season so far, they're neither positive or negative really. You know, I'm not going to sit here and say that 15 points on 23 games is absolutely unbelievable. Of course it's not. It's just the 3 wins from the 23 games for Wycombe this season. But, you know, I think that's, for a lot of people, it's 3 more wins than they were expecting. A lot of fans of rival clubs especially were expecting us to make the step up and get smashed every single week. You know, early doors it looked like that might have been the case. But especially recently, you know, the last couple of months there's been a lot of tight games where we've been edged out by a single goal or held on to a goalless draw. You know, the goals are coming again, slowly but surely. I think that the return of Vuce Piezo up front for the second half of the season will be huge for us. And the return of Ryan Tavazzoli at the back is again going to be massive for us. I think the second half of the season will be much more fruitful for Wycombe. I think there'll be a few more wins on the board for us, and hopefully come May we can get above that dotted line and stay in the Championship to build a successful foundations for the next few years. In terms of standout players for Wycombe, you know, I think it would sound strange to sit here and say that after 3 wins in 23 games that a lot of the squad have been really good this season. But you know, it's true. You know, making a step up from League One to the Championship is never easy for anybody. You know, I think that also, as well as us, Coventry and Rotherham they've struggled with that as well, that step up. You know, if I'm going to give a few shout outs to honourable mentions, and definitely Ryan Alsop in goal. I think he's my player of the season so far. I think that without him in between the sticks, we'd be worse off than where we are at the minute. A couple of huge performances for us, I can remember, in games to keep us in them this season. A couple of saves that have won us points and saved us points, you know. Also, Josh Knight on loan from Leicester City at the back, only 23 years old, but a real commanding presence, a real leader at the back. You know, I've got every expectation that he's going to go on and do big things at the top level. You know, we're lucky to have him back for the second half of the season as well. He's really shone for us since he arrived back at the end of August. And I think, yeah, he's going to be huge for us going forward. And finally, Curtis Thompson in the midfield. You know, a retro centre midfielder, if you like. You know, he gives 110% every single week. He's not afraid to put a tackle in. You know, he's not a technically gifted footballer by any means. But, you know, he puts a shift in. He puts tackles in, and he'll run around for 90 minutes, and he'll guarantee you that every single week. Again, one of our standout performers this season. And I think that going forward, with a lot of our players coming back, a lot of our players finding their feet at long last, the second half of the season for us, will hopefully, I mean, it can't be a lot worse, but it's gonna be a lot better for us. So yeah, like I said, hopefully come May, survive relegation, and we can stay up this season. I think a lot of people might agree with me on my opinions on Tottenham. I think they differ from week to week, and that's depending on their performance and result and each weekend. You know, I think that in certain games, Jose Mourinho's tactics could be quite naive and negative. There was the result a couple of weeks back against Fulham, 1-0 up at early doors. Try and see out a 1-0 win for whatever reason on home soil, and it comes back to bite them. But obviously, with the quality that Tottenham have got on their side, they should be taking the game to every single team in the league. And you know, at the start of the season, they were one of my title favourites. You know, and I really did think that under Mourinho, with some of the business they'd done in the summer, they would have gone to do good things this season. The arrival of Gareth Bale, for whatever reason, hasn't really paid off, especially when a 4th round tie away at Wycombe Wanderers is a big chance for him to get game time. I think something's obviously gone wrong there. On the other hand, there's signings of Sergio Reguilon has gone down really well. I think he's a fantastic fullback for Tottenham this season. Some of his balls into Harry Kane, you know, they're pinpoint, second to none. absolutely quality. And then the arrival of Højbjerg in the midfield, I think he's probably my Premier League signing of the summer, really signing of the season so far. Really cheap as well from Southampton. He's been colossal for Tottenham this season. So I think that and I know that Tottenham are going to take the FA Cup seriously, because it's no secret that there's been a dry spell of trophies in recent season. So I'm sure that Jose Mourinho will be looking to take the cup seriously this season. I'm expecting to put out a strong team against Wycombe. Show us the respect we deserve, I suppose. Hopefully we will see some of the big boys, but I'm not expecting to see the likes of Harry Kane and Heung-min Son. But seeing Gareth Bale on Wycombe Wanderers pitch, it's going to be a nice surprise if he does get onto the pitch. In terms of which Tottenham players worry me, as a supporter of the club who are bottom of the Championship, with just 15 points, I think I'd say all of them. Especially the two boys up front, Harry Kane and Heung-min Son. I'm sure if they play, they'll give us a world of problems. Whether or not they do play, I'm not too sure. Obviously, with Vinicius scoring a hat-trick in the last round, I'm sure he's itching for another start in the Cup. Obviously, Gareth Bale, he's looking for game time, along with Bergwijn as well. I think that'll probably be the front three Tottenham go for. There'll be a few young lads thrown into the mixture. But I think one player that perhaps goes under the radar sometimes is Tanguy Ndombele. I think he's really turned the corner since last season. Obviously, publicly, Mourinho wasn't happy with some of his performances, and I think that it's had the same effect that Luke Shaw has for Man United. As soon as they sort of get that public treatment by Mourinho, they turn the corner, and it looks to have worked. A lot of people don't agree with the public outcry against some players. I don't agree with it either. But if it works, then the management has to be there somewhere. And I think for Ndombele it has worked this season. He's been great for Tottenham so far. Another player I'd like to see play against us is Dele Alli. I think some of the treatment against him from Mourinho has been unfair, unwarranted. I think, in the last round against Marine, yes, it's only against Marine, but he did control the play. There's definitely a tidy player in there with Dele Alli. We've seen it for the last few seasons in the Premier League. Give him the game time, as long as he gets his match fitness and sharpness up, he's a phenomenal talent. Rumours of him going to Paris Saint-Germain with Mauricio Pochettino, I'm sure he'll thrive there with some really good players behind him and ahead of him. Under manager he knows well, I'm sure he'd do well there. But I think every Tottenham player, there's concerns there. It's still a mystery what sort of strength team Tottenham are going to play on Monday night. Hopefully we get a few big names. No one's expecting to see Harry Kane and Heung-min Son. No one's expecting to see Ndombele and Højbjerg. No one's expecting to see Eric Dyer, Torreira Alderweireld, Sergio Reguilon even. But I'm sure Tottenham will bring a few of their big guns to. They need to bring a bit of quality to see them through to the next round, and I'm sure they will. Because as I said, it's a competition that Jose Mourinho and Tottenham need to take seriously this season to hopefully get some silverware in that cabinet. If the game is anything like the FA Cup tie just 4 years ago at White Hart Lane, I think it will be a belter. I was lucky enough to be there for that game. A 4-3 win for Tottenham in the dying seconds. Heung-min Son scoring the winner on that day. He's got a lot better since then, and he was phenomenal on that day. I remember that day well. It was a fantastic day out. It was the last season of White Hart Lane. A privilege to get there before it did close its doors, and obviously it's now a swanky new stadium, which hopefully I can get to one day as well. But as a Wycombe fan, I have to be confident that we'll put a good performance in, and hopefully we can get a result. As score predictions go, I'd have to say, I'll say a 2-1 win for Wycombe. Realistically, I think a lot of people are expecting a Tottenham win. If they put their big boys out, I'm sure they'll go through with relative ease. But I'm confident that we'll take the game to them. We'll have a few good chances, and if we can just stick one or two of those in the back of the net, it'll be interesting. And obviously, Wycombe are just back from a COVID outbreak. We resumed training yesterday afternoon, or Thursday as you're watching this. So we've had a couple of weeks off. So match fitness and sharpness will be at the highest it's been all season. So that can only work well in our favour. And predicted lineup, I'd say it's going to be relatively simple. Within the last few weeks for Wycombe, Ryan Alsop in goal. An ever-present back four in recent weeks of Jack Grimmer, Ryan Tapazzoli, Josh Knight and Joe Jacobson. Hopefully Don Gape and Coates Thompson will be a midfield two. I'm not sure who we'll see ahead of them two. Perhaps Anis Mehmeti is a good shout. Young Albanian midfielder. He's been a cracking player for us this season. Really exciting sort of attacking midfielder that we haven't had in recent seasons. And the front three or front four chops and changes every single week. I think Uche Ikpeazu is almost a dead certain to start. Darryl Horgan as well, Gareth McCleary. I expect David Wheeler to start off the back of his recent performances. It all depends on the team lineups, obviously. I'm sure it'll be a cracking game nonetheless. Finally, I'd like to say a big thank you to Chris for having me on today. A real pleasure to preview this game for you all. Hopefully the game will be a belter. Apart from that, just take care, guys. Keep healthy. I'll be watching Tottenham's progress in the Premier League over the next few months to see if they can conjure up that title charge. I'm still confident there's the quality there to do it. And as far as Monday night is concerned, I'm really excited for it. A huge game for us, especially. A good chance for Tottenham perhaps to advance to round 5. A big chance for us to achieve a cup set, if you will. I'm sure it'll be a cracking game of football. But that's all from me. It's been a real pleasure. Take care, guys. Stay safe.